This is CBS 5 News at 5 with Michael Benny.
Things aren't getting better as we come on the air right now. We're live on the roads as the blast of winter persists. Central New York buried by this storm. Destiny USA just decided to close. Many areas warning drivers to just stay off the roads, and in some cases, there are driving bans. Hello, everyone. We begin with sad news on this. We've just learned the storm has been deadly in New Hampshire. A 16-year-old girl was killed in a crash after losing control of her car and hitting a tree in Guilford, New Hampshire. Here, there are no reports of anything that awful. CBS 5 team coverage on the way. Brett Hall along Route 31 in Cicero as drivers navigate this mess. Meteorologist Molly Matat in Tully. Justin Page at the Carrier Dome, where fans would have really struggled to get to tonight's game. And Mary Keeler is our eye on current highway conditions. But first, to the weather alert. And the authority on this, meteorologist Mike Brookins.
Michael, this is the worst of it. We said the afternoon, it will continue through the evening. Heavy snowfall at times. Look how little traffic we're viewing on our Interstate 81 camera. Adirondack Furniture, Stanley Law Skywatch. Very, very slow going. You want to stay safe. We don't want to see any other deadly circumstances from this storm. It's a long doozy of one. We've got a winter storm warning that still goes more than 24 more hours until 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. Even blizzard warnings in northern portions of the state and then down into the eastern sections of the state. The wraparound from the storm coming into central New York, moderate to even heavy intensity. Heaviest being into Cortland County, into Oneida County, and then up towards the Old Forge area. It's a lot lighter when you get out towards Wayne and Ontario County. As of now on RomanoCars.com live triple Doppler radar, steady moderate snow falling in the city of Syracuse. That heavy snow from Cortland to Truxton to DeRuyter, that's 2 inches, perhaps 3 inches per hour. Many of these areas to our south and east will end up with more than 2 feet of snow. I think at least 1.5 feet when all is said and done in Syracuse by the next 24 hours. We're not done with this by any means. You're on the go forecast. We ask that you don't be on the roads. Heavy snow, gusty winds, limiting visibility, especially when the sun goes down by 7:15. We'll have temperatures holding steady in the teens. Michael?
Thanks, Mike. Just after 5, here are the top 5 stories on CBS 5 News. Breaking live at the Carrier Dome, where the storm forced the postponement of tonight's SU basketball game in the National Invitation Tournament. The Orange will now face off against UNC Greensboro tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. Coming up here, we'll find out how Dome officials are working right now with concerns about the rooftop.
We have 5,000 pieces of equipment, primarily plows, that have been deployed all across the state. We have about 2,000 National Guard who have been deployed all across the state, and will now be shifting those deployments more towards central New York.
The governor redirects a lot of heavy equipment that was set to help dig out New York City. There's also a temporary tractor-trailer ban on a number of highways, including 81 and the Thruway. All non-essential state employees were told to stay home today. For a lot of people, this has been a day of getting by with help. We found Deborah Duquette on Syracuse's north side, just off Butternut Street. She uses a motorized wheelchair to get around, and in the snow, it just wasn't doing the trick. Family members were helping to push her along in the street because that was easier to navigate over the unshoveled sidewalks. The Lakeview Amphitheater called off today's job fair because of the weather. The amphitheater accepting applications for a number of part-time jobs for the summer concert season. The job fair is rescheduled for Thursday at the On Center from 3 to 7.
We did about 8 trucks yesterday, so we're just finishing up getting everything done during this storm, which is great. But you know what? Nothing slows down here in Syracuse.
In downtown Syracuse today, wicked weather greets the crew of the Broadway hit Wicked. We were there as they were moving in the sets and the props to the Landmark Theater amid the heavy snowstorm. Wicked opens at the Landmark tomorrow night and runs through March 26th. The first half of this storm comes with snow so fine it caused a greasy, slow-going situation on every road and highway in central New York. And it's led some local governments to restrict travel in a way that is very rare. In some places, driving is outright banned. Let's get the facts first on CBS 5 News at 5 o'clock. Travel bans have been issued in Tompkins, Shenango, and Cortland counties. And in an hour, that will include Madison County. That means driving is restricted to emergency and essential personnel only. No one should be on the roadways in those areas during the duration of this emergency unless it's absolutely necessary. The ban will be lifted in Shenango and Madison counties tomorrow morning at 6. In Cortland County, it lifts at 8 tomorrow morning. It's in place in Tompkins County until further notice. Just in Oneida County has declared a state of emergency. All Oneida County roadways will be closed to all but emergency traffic starting at 6 o'clock tonight, and it will stay that way until 6 tomorrow morning. Travel advisories also issued for Seneca, Cayuga, and Onondaga counties. That means drivers are warned to be aware of how bad it is out there with all the blowing and drifting snow. The advisory in Onondaga County has just now been extended to tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock. We are live in Onondaga County right now, just along the Route 31 corridor in Cicero, where drivers, the people who are out right now, are probably getting on the road and then rethinking their decision. There are whiteouts in some spots, traffic moving much, much slower than it would typically be moving at this time on a Tuesday afternoon. Right now, CBS 5's Mary Keeler is with the Live Eye. She is our eye on the road. Mary, tell us where you are and what's happening.
Michael, we are just near exit 6. We're on 481 South right now. We are headed up and down 81, trying to get back on there, as well as 690. We're monitoring the roads for you right now, and as you can see, it's pretty barren on this side. There are some cars going on the other side, but lots of people driving out here with flashers, and it is... Some people are driving a little fast, but it is definitely whiteout conditions here. Now I want to show you some video from earlier that we took. It's definitely been a slow-going ride home for the start of the commute from work as people are out here. But obviously people are going pretty slow. You see signs out here. They say, you know, adjust everything for the conditions and make sure you're keeping an eye on things. And people out here who are braving the elements, they are keeping it slow and steady, but of course that can still lead to some slipping and sliding. We've had some slipping and sliding. And when we were driving around, you know, really anywhere we've been so far, the snow is really just coming down and continuing to do that. And it's hard to even see the street lights and traffic lights, excuse me, at times. But drivers we spoke with say they're only on the roads because they have to get home from work.
I've been careful, but I almost like went in circles until Ave. It's really bad until.
Rough, treacherous. I just got off from work, and I drove from East Syracuse to here. It took me 25 minutes.
Drivers out here, but definitely trying to get home as quickly and as safely as they can. We'll keep you posted and monitor these roads throughout these newscasts. Live from 481 South, I'm Mary Keeler.
Hey, Mary, thank you. Team coverage continues with CBS 5 meteorologist Molly Matat. She's with the Live Eye in Tully right now. Molly, bring us up to speed.
Michael, I don't use this word often, but really it is brutal in Tully right now. Not only has the snow continued to pick up in intensity since we've been here for the past hour or so, the winds are ripping and it's taking this light grainy snow and blowing it right at us. It is not pleasant to be outside. This is also really wet snow. When it melts down, there's a lot of water to this. So even though it's grainy, it's got a high water content. I want to show you the snowbank right to my left. This is a parking spot in this nice and easy gas station and grocery store. It's at least as tall as I am, and I'm 5'4", so that means quite a bit of snow has fallen here today. A plow just went by about an hour ago, and there's got to be another inch, maybe 2 inches on the ground. We're looking at blowing, drifting snow as well. The commute up here was tough. 81 South, downtown itself on James Street, the roads were very slushy. Everything is greasy. On 81 South, it typically takes us 20 minutes to get here. Today, it took us 40. So we doubled the time. We went pretty slowly. I don't think we ever went faster than maybe 40 miles an hour in the best conditions. I will also mention we were passed by several tractor trailers, but I do see quite a few of them are starting to line up at this nice and easy and are waiting the storm out, hoping to get back on the road tomorrow, which is a very smart decision. For now, reporting in Tully, I'm meteorologist Molly Matat. Back to you.
Yeah, the state doesn't want them on the road anyway in this weather. Molly, thank you. Today, 3 school districts were open in central New York: Vernon, Verona, Sherrill, Morrisville, Eaton, and Stockbridge Valley. But it didn't last a whole long. Those districts dismissed students before noon today. The Skaneateles School District was among the vast majority, that did close today. And Skaneateles has already used up all of its snow days for the season. CBS 5's Samantha German reports on how school districts will make up for the lost time.
On a day like today, you can bet schools here in Skaneateles are closed. But it's the number of snow days the school district has already used is why parents are talking.
I think there are days when they could have come, they called it too soon, you know, and I think they should do more of that practice of the hour and the 2-hour delay before they go ahead and just go right to a, canceling school.
I think our district has been wonderful at being proactive and calling snow days the night before so that parents can plan ahead if they have to work. And the roads around outside the village are very hilly. It's farm country out here, and they're very dangerous when there's even a little bit of snow.
The superintendent of the Skaneateles School District says the calendar has 5 snow days built in, but they were already exhausted in February, so they're required to use available days, including spring break, to make up for missed classes.
I think it's something we can't really dodge. I think the snow is something we can't work around, and that we have to do what we have to do.
Karen Wilmot is a mother of 4. She says she's used to these cancellations, but she feels the district has jumped the gun at times.
Back when my oldest son was in, it was like they always had a surplus, and they would give them that. They would get that back at the end of the year, or make it up on letting them have a 4-day weekend.
Because of this snow day, the district will make it up by having a half day this Friday, which was originally scheduled for a conference day. Reporting in Skaneateles, I'm Samantha German.
Our coverage continues in a big way, but this is a good time to remind you that come tomorrow morning, when snow is still a factor, if there are school closings and delays, we'll have them here on CBS 5 this morning, and meteorologist Matt Stevens will bring you the forecast on the 5s. Our team coverage continues at 5:30 with a new appreciation for people who not only didn't get the day off, they can't get a snow day. When the weather is bad, they have to be at their best.
Snow providing a severe driving hazard for tonight in central New York. Also, we've got the winds picking up that'll blow and drift the snow and reduce the visibility. It'll seem like the snow's going to last forever, but it won't. I've got a timing for when it becomes light, how much you're going to see when it's all over, and exactly when, coming up next.
Mike Brookins' forecast is coming up in this weather alert. For a quick check right now on the road conditions, we are on 690 West, just past Midler Avenue in Syracuse, as the weather takes a pretty dramatic, although very much forecasted turn for the worse. Right, Mike Brookins? This is exactly how we thought this was going to go, that it was going to get worse in the late afternoon. Michael,
there are people that just, they don't want to believe it perhaps, because they're looking forward to spring. We've had tastes of 70s, but this is the reality, folks. Everyone wants to know when it's going to come to an end, and I would say probably in about another 36 hours, we're done with the snow. It's going to be the kids will be bouncing off the walls at home if they've got another snow day. I know my kids, we were trying to make the most of it, playing some games, doing a little walking of the dog in the snow, but we've got more to come. This is where we stand. Just checked in with the National Weather Service here in Syracuse, 8.6 inches of snow. But it's not just the storm system that really hit hard Pennsylvania into southeastern sections of our viewing area, but it's the lake effect. That's going to be the double whammy. So watch for us to climb on this tally over the next 24 to 30 hours. But look at some of these impressive totals. Paris Station in Oneida County, 1.5 feet, over 2 feet in Shenango County in Norwich. And well, down near the Binghamton area, 27 inches in Tioga County. Owego, 28.5. We had 30 inches being reported down in Wayne County, Pennsylvania. So the storm system came closer than what the computer models had forecasted 2 days ago. We caught on to this, though, very early today and said, folks, we're going to get it a lot worse. We are going to see probably close to 18 inches or even more in the heart of central New York, 2 feet in some spots to our southeast. Here's RomanoCars.com live triple Doppler radar. The heaviest of the snow to the south of Syracuse, to the east and to the northeast. There's the loop scan. It's much improved in the Finger Lakes compared to what we're dealing with in around Onondaga County, and especially here. This is, impossible to travel We're getting it at the rate of 2 to 3 inches per hour steadily every hour. Right now, from Truxton to DeRuyter to Fabius into central sections of Madison County near Cazenovia, heavy snow in Verona Beach as well. This goes up into northern Oneida County near Boonville, eventually toward Old Forge. The Adirondacks getting slammed as well. So we've got pockets of heavy snow, everyone at least getting light snow right now. By 9 o'clock, the heavy snow shifts into northeastern portions of the state. Most likely, it's a more moderate snow. And by morning, I think it becomes light. That'll allow the DPW crews to get a better handle on things. So we'll see a better morning commute, but far from perfect. You'll still need a ton of time tomorrow morning. Portions of the state see dramatic improvements tomorrow morning. I'm talking western New York and eastern New York. Storm system, it's out of here tomorrow morning. But then the lake effect kicks in, and look who's got it. Central New York, southeast of the lake, steady light snow right through the evening before it breaks up to snow showers by Thursday morning. And it's done by about midday on Thursday. So Thursday afternoon, nothing more than an isolated flurry. And by 7 a.m. Thursday, 15 to 25 inches through the heart of central New York. Still higher amounts to the southeast, 22 to 32 inches of snow, with the least being maybe under 10 inches in some of these white areas to our northwest and to the southwest. So 16, pretty much holding steady. The winds will be blustery. So that's going to produce blowing and drifting snow, limited visibility, snow becoming light, but still steady. Steady light snow tomorrow, 23, windy, a lot more snow tomorrow. Tomorrow night, a minor amount of snow with snow showers. Snow showers taper off in the morning on Thursday. So the afternoon, some partial sun, just an isolated flurry, way below average. We should be in the lower 40s. 32 with St. Patty's Day being a lot better, partly sunny, just an evening flurry. A weaker system on Saturday with periods of rain and snow, mostly light. My pick day next Monday with partial sunshine. We finally get back up into the 40s Tuesday. Michael?
Thanks, Mike. We're going to get the big picture story on what's happening all over Onondaga County on the roads next. Coming up, the Onondaga County Executive is my guest right after the break. Where are the biggest trouble spots as we head into the evening hours with more snow coming? You're watching CBS 5 News at 5 o'clock. Time-lapse video shows the story that you have probably been watching out of the windows of your home all day. The snow coming down over 81 through Syracuse. This is between 8 this morning and about 2:30 in the afternoon. And over that time, the highway blanketed, the traffic gets remarkably less. Right now, Onondaga County has a travel advisory in place. It's through 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Let's bring a new perspective on the big picture story in Onondaga County with the woman who's in charge, Onondaga County Executive Joni Mahoney. Joni, thanks for being with us on CBS 5.
Well, thank you for getting the word out to people.
What's your biggest worry right now?
That without a straight-out ban, that people are going to be led to believe that they can be out on the roads. We are not banning traffic, but we are asking people to stay off the roads. And the reason is because if we officially ban traffic, that triggers some staffing requirements, and we don't want to put the sheriff in a position where he has to deploy people to enforce the ban when he could use the help somewhere else. So far, people have been very cooperative in just staying off the road because we're asking them to. So that's where we stand now, but they should not read into it that it's safe to be out there.
Where are the resources being deployed most at this point? The county plows, the big equipment that can move snow. Where is it?
We have 80 plow drivers, and they've been working nonstop. And they're on the major county thoroughfares, and it takes them almost 2 hours to get through every one of the county roads. And by the time they get back, they're snow-covered again. It's been helping us that so few people are on the road, and we're asking people to keep up the good work. The county is having essential employees only again tomorrow in an effort to keep people off the road in the morning, because those 80 plow drivers have to get some sleep at some point, and during the night we'll only have about 16 plow drivers out. So the snow's going to get ahead of us again, and when they get back out in full force in the morning, we're hoping that the traffic is still very limited so we can get the snow off the road.
All right, County Executive Joni Mahoney, please give us any updates so we can pass them on, okay?
Will do. Thank you,
All
Michael.
right, stay safe, Joni. Thank you. Coming up on CBS 5, we're live at the Carrier Dome, where there was a late cancellation for tonight's SU game. The Orange will wait to play in the NIT, but will the delay bring out more fans to the Dome? Finding out what the current situation up there is next.
This is CBS 5 News at 5:30 with Michael Benny.
It's a weather alert, and we're live on the road right now on 81 North, just past the airport. And things have gone downhill over the last 2 hours. The heaviest of the snow is now. Many areas have warned drivers to stay off the roads if at all possible. Good afternoon. We have extensive live team coverage on the massive storm pounding central New York. Madison and Shenango counties both declare a state of emergency, and travel bans are in effect there, as well as Tompkins and Cortland counties. At the airport in Syracuse, almost every flight was canceled because of the storm. Many of those cancellations, we've learned, were preemptive strikes to avoid last-minute problems for travelers. In a few minutes, we'll catch up with flyers who were stranded by the snow. Let's get the latest on the weather alert. Things are changing by the minute. Here's Mike Brookins.
Yeah, we're pushing 10 inches of snow now in Syracuse, heavier amounts by quite a bit. We're talking over 20 inches to the south and to the east of Onondaga County. Stay home tonight, folks, unless you must really be out. This is the Stanley Law Sky Watch. We've got snow-covered roads, limited visibility, 15 degrees, by the way, with a -2 wind chill as the wind has picked up. Yeah, well, you know, at least when I compare this to like the tropics and hurricanes and tornadoes, if you hunker down, we'll make it through this. We've got a winter storm warning going for more than 24 more hours until 8 o'clock tomorrow. The heaviest of the snow is to the southeast and to the east of Onondaga County. Here's RomanoCars.com live triple Doppler radar. Now, it's not a huge deal in through the Finger Lakes to Wayne County. Yes, there's some snow, and the lake effect is probably going to hit you worse in Wayne County the next 24 hours. But this is the heavy snow, 2 to 3 inches per hour. Impassable roads from Truxton to Fabius, Cazenovia, complete whiteouts up towards Verona Beach and Vienna. Bad travel conditions on the roads tonight through the overnight. Tomorrow still poor. It's going to be a while before it gets down to fair conditions, probably not until Thursday morning. I eventually have some sunshine and temperatures near 40 in my 7-day. We'll get more in depth on that and your snowfall forecast ahead.
Thanks, Mike. Just after 5:30, here are the top 5 stories on CBS 5 News. Extreme weather in Rochester, where there was a remarkable rescue amid today's weather. A car went through a hole in a fence and rolled down into a ravine this morning. Fire crews had to rappel 170 feet down the gorge to get to the car. One person was pulled from the vehicle and treated. Authorities say it took 23 minutes to get to the victim, and they say that's remarkable given the awful conditions. Just in, Destiny USA closed its doors about 30 minutes ago because of the storm. The mall kept its doors open for a while today during the snowfall, although others, like the Eastview Mall in Rochester, closed at about 3 o'clock this afternoon because the weather had taken such a turn. In Syracuse, a bread truck goes off the road into the median on 690 West. This happened near the State Fairgrounds at about noon today. The crash did not cause any lane closures on the highway. No word on any injuries. The latest from New York City, the storm shifted west, sparing that city the worst it has to offer. Broadway producers decided to keep theaters open tonight for the hardy folks willing to brave the weather. The governor says National Guard members and heavy snow removal equipment now being moved from New York City to central New York because the storm shifted. New video from Staten Island, where authorities are crediting an officer for wrangling 2 ponies that got loose amid the storm. They broke free from their stables and were roaming the streets when an off-duty police officer noticed them. That officer used straps to tie the animals to a lamppost. Then they were taken back where they belong. Triple Doppler radar is lit up right now as the storm continues its march through central New York. That weather is the reason tonight's Syracuse University basketball game in the National Invitation Tournament was postponed until tomorrow. CBS 5's Justin Page is with the Live Eye at the Carrier Dome, where had they held that game, the fans who did show up, they really would have had an uphill battle getting there, right?
Oh, Michael, absolutely. It would have been a treacherous drive up to the Carrier Dome for those die-hard fans who were planning on coming to tonight's game. It was a treacherous walk for me up the stairs to the balcony level here at the Carrier Dome. Again, that game postponed until tomorrow night. I did spend some time here on the SU Hill earlier while workers were doing everything they could to keep up with the snowfall and get campus ready for a game. Workers cleared snow from the steps to the Carrier Dome, everyone doing their best just to keep up. But the constant snowfall was too much. Syracuse's first-round NIT game against UNC Greensboro will have to wait at least one more day. The NIT tournament does not have nearly the same flair as the big dance, and with students away on spring break and a snowstorm shutting down the city, the diehard fans would likely be the only ones to take a seat inside the Carrier Dome anyway. Diana Hester is the manager at Varsity Pizza, which was eerily quiet for lunch today. She says even before the game was postponed, she didn't expect many people coming in to grab a slice.
I know, but it's just that there's so many roads closed and the surrounding places by us are, highways are closed, planes are delayed, so I'm not expecting a very big crowd.
Again, that game tomorrow is postponed until 7 p.m., but if the weather keeps up like this, who knows what will happen. And after Coach Jim Boeheim's comments, his jabs at the city of Greensboro last week, I'm sure there are some UNC Greensboro fans rolling their eyes at all of this. Reporting live at the Carrier Dome, I'm Justin Page.
All right, Justin, thank you. Let's face it, the best advice tonight is to simply stay home. There are driving restrictions in place across central New York as the snow and wind creates whiteouts. Let's get the facts first on CBS 5 News at 5:30. Travel bans have been issued in Tompkins, Shenango, and Cortland counties. And in about 30 minutes, that will include Madison County. That means driving is restricted to emergency and essential personnel only. No one should be on the roadways of those counties during the duration of that emergency. And just in from Oneida County, a state of emergency there. All Oneida County roads are going to be closed to everything but emergency traffic starting at 6 o'clock tonight. It will stay that way on orders of the sheriff and the county executive until 6 tomorrow morning. Travel advisories are underway in Seneca, Cayuga, and Onondaga counties. That means drivers are certainly warned to be aware of just how dangerous it is. The advisory in Onondaga County was just extended until tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock. CBS 5's Mary Keeler is with the Live Eye. She has been on the roads, focused on that's Brett Hall. He's been focused on the Route 31 corridor. Brett.
A very icy, almost sleet-like snow coming down right now in Cicero, pelting you in the face. Very uncomfortable. We are along Route 11 or Route 31. That's Route 11 right over there. And I will actually say, while there is no bare pavement to be seen, the traffic has been kind of heavy, especially since the 5 o'clock hour. So a lot of people are still out and about. They all seem to be going a little bit slower than they usually would. At 5 o'clock, we measured nearly 8 inches falling right here along Route 31 in Cicero, and it keeps coming down. Many people coming into the burned dairy to make sure they can even see on the roadways.
That's why I had to pull in. I had to get off. I couldn't see. Luckily, I only got to go to Taft Road, but didn't want to chance it anymore.
I just came from Turning Stone Casino for work, and nice. The roads are bad, but if you take your time, you'll be okay. So.
Everyone I spoke with says this is definitely not the worst they have seen living in central New York, but they say that if you're not careful, you can really get into trouble fast. It's very slippery and greasy out on those roads. Reporting live in Cicero, I'm Brett Hall.
Brett, thank you. Team coverage continues with CBS 5's Alex Dunbar with the headaches at the airport.
50 flights leave Syracuse each day, and by noon it looked like 46 of them would be canceled. Barbara Potter and Catherine Weirs were holding out hope they could make their connecting flight.
Paris. And then Spain.
They're headed to Europe. Everything they will need for a 47-day hiking trip is in their backpacks, so they're ready for any delay that comes along.
Because, we've got to get to Madrid by May 1st.
The Syracuse airport is open, but Airport Commissioner Christina Callahan says many airlines preemptively canceled flights, hoping to avoid gridlock and long lines.
We have all learned the lessons the hard way when we have thousands of passengers stranded at airports across the country. So they've become very proactive over the last few years.
Today at the Syracuse airport, fortune favors the bold and those flying through Atlanta. In a sea of cancellations, flights to Atlanta were the bright spots. Vincent and Patricia Santino made their way through an unnaturally quiet airport, happy to be on their way home to Florida tonight.
If I'm the last bastion of what optimism looks like, I proudly wear that badge.
Airlines are expected to cancel and delay even more flights tonight and tomorrow if you fly out. Check with your airline before heading to the airport. For now, reporting from Syracuse, I'm Alex Dunbar.
While many were told to stay home from work today, not everyone could avoid braving the elements. As CBS 5's Alex Ruscilla reports.
Winter is refusing to give way to spring. Even with travel restrictions in effect, you'll still find people out in the storm.
I'm not looking forward to driving in this at all.
Holly Williams and her co-worker Samantha Sims are two of them. Cortland runs on Duncan, largely thanks to both of them. They don't really have the option of not coming in. If they miss work, they don't get paid.
I probably would have if I didn't need the money, but yeah, I slept 4 times coming here.
Everybody, I think, is complaining at this point. It's absurd.
Christopher Mehta owns a labeling company in Cortland. While he has a little more flexibility when it comes to opening or closing, he says shutting down for the 2-day duration of the storm is simply unrealistic.
It's detrimental to production.
So he compromised with his few employees and the companies he works with. He told his workers who live outside of Cortland to stay home for the day, and those who are right in the city came in for a half day.
But on the other hand, you have to do what you have to do. It's weather. You can't control it.
He also told UPS to avoid coming to pick up his products for the day, keeping everyone a little bit safer, even if it means some shipments might be a little bit late. Reporting from Cortland, I'm Alex Ruscilla.
It's 15 degrees at 5:40 and the snow is coming and it's blowing around.
Yeah, when all is said and done, no doubt about it, you're going to need a snowblower or the plow here in Syracuse, anywhere from 1 to 2 feet of snow. Down in Norwich, just got to report 27 inches already on the ground. They could see up to 3 feet, 36 inches. They are officially snowed in. Any melting snow temperatures in my 7-day forecast, we'll share with you that, as well as our additional snowfall forecast coming up next. Well, we just had Alex Dunbar out at the Syracuse Hancock International Airport, and there's not many delays because there's only like 2 flights that are still coming in or leaving. One of them to Atlanta, the other one to Toronto. Look at Toronto's backups. They're over 2 hours. These are the airport delays, and we're not seeing any in these big East Coast cities, and that's because mostly they are shut down. Here in Syracuse, we've got the snow, the wind, the cold. 15 degrees. It's moderate snow downtown. There's the stripe of heavy snow right now. It's down towards Fabius, Truxton, going up to Cazenovia, into northern Madison County, Verona Beach, into western sections of Oneida County. That is a complete whiteout. At least we still have the sun for now. Once that goes down at 7:15, visibility will get even worse. We've got heavy snow up towards Old Forge. This is the wraparound from the storm system. Expect this to eventually slide up in northeastern portions of the state by late night. Problem is as that does, northwesterly cold flow of air means the lake effect stays here, and the snow ain't going anywhere, folks, for central New York. They've seen great improvement in Pennsylvania, where they had up towards 32, 33 inches of snow in northeastern portions of the state. Down towards New York City, a lot calmer. There's the center of the low pressure system. So we're getting the wraparound, the worst of the conditions this afternoon and this evening. By tomorrow morning, I don't expect it to be like this. It'll be lighter snow, but still steady snow. We'll get this lake effect pulling through central New York, and that dry air that's not far away, eventually that comes in. The question is when. We'll let you know. So this evening, steady snow, heavy at times. It's windy. Hunker down. Don't go out. Mainly light snow by late tonight. Still, though, it's coming down steadily. It's going to be windy, producing blowing and drifting of the snow, which makes it even more difficult for the road crews. So we want to leave those roads clear for the plows tomorrow morning, so those that are essential can make it into work. More accumulating snow for tomorrow. It's going to be light and steady. It'll be windy, cold. We're still talking 20s, but we're really focusing in on the snow. The heavy snow should be over by 11 o'clock. Moderate snow, sure. We've still got blowing and drifting, low visibility. Notice the winds out of the northwest bringing in the lake effect snow to central New York. Here we are at the start of the day at 5 a.m. It is going to be a terrible morning commute if you have to drive in. By noon, eastern New York, much improved. During the afternoon, western New York, much improved. Not so for us here in central New York. It's that lake effect. It's going to plague us. It's not going to leave when we want it to. Ski areas are going to be happy. They're going to have a great weekend, but it's going to be tough going all day tomorrow. By Thursday morning, it's just snow showers. By Thursday afternoon, nothing more than an isolated flurry. How much can you expect in your backyard? Places like Geneva, maybe 8 to 12 inches, a little bit more in Watertown. Cortland, Syracuse in the 16 to 20 inch range. Norwich could be coming close to 3 feet of snow down to the southeast of Syracuse and Onondaga County. So 16, snow becoming light by late, blowing in drifting snow. Wind out of the northwest at 15 to 30. Same tomorrow, up to 35, only 23. So it's windy and cold. Steady light snow around central New York. We'll find morning snow showers, very minimal accumulation here. Greatly improved on the roads Thursday. So if you could just wait one more day, 25 degrees. We'll have less wind by Friday, partly sunny. That's St. Patty's Day. It'll be dry during the day, 32, 37 with periods of mainly light rain and snow on Saturday. 40s don't return until next Tuesday.
Hey there, Mike. A big storm out there. Is the head coach of UNC Greensboro basketball calling out our city because of it? We'll let you decide. We'll show you the tweet that has SU fans upset tonight when we come back. You're watching CBS 5 News at 5:30.
CBS 5 Sports is brought to you by Romano Motors, your local Mercedes-Benz dealer.
The Orange waiting one more day for its NIT debut. Good evening, I'm Nico Tamuri, and we know the Syracuse and UNC Greensboro matchup pushed back now until 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Perhaps one more day for the bitterness of being left out to subside, and one more day to focus on a formidable opponent. Greensboro just a 5-point loss away from making the NCAA tournament. It should be a great matchup, but I have to show you this, and I just hope it's interpreted wrong. Look at this tweet from Greensboro coach Wes Miller saying, quote, disappointed. Would have helped to know this earlier in the day. And by the way, I'm told the teams were let know at the exact same time that this game would be postponed. But he goes on to say, we've got tough guys. They'll compete when they get an opportunity. Now, listen, in tweets and text messages, things can get lost in translation. But if coach is calling out our city's toughness, I would love to see how North Carolina would respond to this storm. If not, best of luck to the Spartans tomorrow. So who are these guys, right? There's been a lot of talk about UNC Greensboro. Taking a closer look at the Spartans tonight, impressive 25 wins, a share of the regular season championship of the Southern Conference, located in that triangle region of North Carolina. The Orange, by the way, in history, undefeated, 3-0 against Greensboro. The last win, coming during the national championship season, with another in the former Great Alaska Shootout in 1996. Jim Boeheim weighs in on the matchup.
They're players that have to understand, and as they do, that the next game is what's important for them personally and for us as a team and a program. You want to go and put your best foot forward whenever you play, individually or as a team, and I think we'll do that.
Meanwhile, the SU women's basketball team has its eyes on the NCAA tournament. The Orange, the 8th seed, taking on Iowa State Saturday at 1:30. The team is totally focused on that. Everybody else looking at that potential game in round 2. Should Syracuse get by the Cyclones, it would be a rematch of the 2016 national championship. UConn getting the better of the Orange, of course, in that one. The Huskies, once again, the odds-on favorite to win it all. But there is the potential for one last chance of redemption for seniors like Brittany Sykes and Alexis Peterson.
I mean, you just said it. We have to focus on the team at hand. We won't be able to get to UConn if we don't worry about Iowa State. So going into the game, obviously, yeah, you look forward to saying, oh, there's a rematch in Syracuse and UConn, but we have to handle Iowa State first, because I'm pretty sure they want to taste the UConn too, and to make history and go into the Sweet 16 and knock a #1 out. But as of right now, we're focusing on Iowa State.
Should be fun to see. Hopefully
first
the win
things
can
first.
Go. Yeah, first things first, focus on that, and first things first. I certainly hope UNC Greensboro isn't calling out the Salt City on its snow handling, right?
Well, listen, that game had to be canceled.
It
would be dangerous, and all we need is for somebody to get hurt, and then it's a big issue.
Exactly.
Got to cancel. Thank you, Nico. Here's what's next on CBS 5 at 6. We're checking the progress of DPW crews, where things stand right now as they try to clear a day of snow, and we prepare for a night of it ahead. Here's Mike.
As much snow as we're going to get, it's not going to be a record. On this date, March 14th, 1993, we had 19.9 inches of snow, so we're not going to see that much, but it was a day where the best form of transportation could be cross-country skiing. Ricardo down in Onondaga Hill snapped this shot. Of course, you can always share with us at burst.com/CNY Central. We'll talk about when the snow comes to an end and how much we'll totally see coming up.
Live. I'm Mary Keeler. We're live along 690 West in Syracuse. We'll tell you more about how your evening commute is looking like a white one.
Not a lot of people on the roads, and school districts running down the options. Who is out of snow days? And where will they tack on extra school days? It's all part of our extensive live team coverage of this mid-March storm we'll all remember for a while. Next on CBS 5 News at 6.